Here we are today, Natural History Museum in Los Angeles. We've only been here once before for an after-hour event, so we've never seen what this whole place has to offer. So really excited to check it out today together. Come check out with us. A little thrills, chills, and good meals today in LA. We're entering now into the Hall of Animals, Hall of African Mammals. Beautiful dark room in here, dark wood. We walk in and first thing we see is some giant taxidermied hippopotamus. I love that little baby. Horrible glare in here. I have to figure out how to deal with that somehow. Yeah, the glare's on everything. Little chimpanzees swinging from the tree and chilling with a little baby. Really nice how they set everything up. Even threw some birds in there in the back. They have some chimpanzee facts, where they're found, what's going on with them in the wild. Again, the glare on there is just crazy. You can't really see it very well because the light's in here. Kind of Western gorilla. Some okapi. Trying to make it look as natural as possible in there. There are good size of exhibits in there because those are very nice size okapis. Got some beautiful rhinoceros over here. Black rhinos. Huge double horns. Okay, now this exhibit is mind-blowing. The rest of them all had glass. This one's wide open. It looks way better. They should open up all the exhibits. Take the glass out of here. This is absolutely mind-blowing right here. Giant African elephants. There's some water buffalo over here. Little giraffe out here stretching and getting a drink of water. I feel like I'm in the night in the museum right now with Ben Stiller. The taxidermy is so good, they literally just come to life at any moment and charge us. That's so cool. That baby is so small. Yeah, this is definitely my favorite one in here for sure. From the African savannah. Some Guriza. I don't know what those are. They're like gibbons monkeys to me, but called Guriza. A little tiny baby, like a little albino baby, but he don't have pink eyes. Greater kudu. I didn't know they were so light in color.
Show you all the finest things in life. If you only agree, you go be my wife. Baby, no change for your body.
Some sable antelope. That male is majestic, huge. His horns are beautiful. There's an eagle back here called a secretary bird. Looks like an Egyptian eagle to me. It's got some long legs. It's like an eagle and stork combined.
No time for your body, for you. Everything I did, I got bad. I love you the way you are.
Have a large pride of lions right here. Some cubs. Many lionesses. I actually see two males back there. One laying down on the rock and one hiding on the side. So he's coming for a sneak attack to find him a mate. It's right there hiding in the corner. We see you. Not really a very big male, huh? Kind of small. Yeah, he must be young. He really isn't that big of a mane even. I think the one in the back's bigger. Yeah, that must be the real one back there, the real male. Oh, this one's eating a zebra leg. I didn't even see that. He's chowing down, hiding behind the rock, not trying to share with anybody. Some spotted hyenas. I don't know if it's a pig he's eating or a deer. They're enjoying something right there. It's making me hungry. Some nice slender cheetahs right here. His head is so small compared to his body. All sleek and ready to run. We got one more enclosure for the Arabian oryx. Oh, I love these. Yeah, they have these at the Living Desert in Palm Desert when we go out there. Beautiful against the desert sand. There's a crazy oddity called an oarfish. So in 2006, it was caught off of Catalina Island. This thing is ginormous, flat. That is one creepy, ugly face. Yeah, his body is long. I'm guessing he's about at least 12 feet, 13 feet long. Now that is a weird fish. The giant Galapagos turtle. Up to 450 pounds. Has a gigantic shell. And a little skinny tail. Try to get his little turtle head over here. That's crazy. You can see inside of his whole shell how it's all hollow. That is very interesting. There's like toes that curl out. Found a gigantic mural in the History Museum's common area. So I can get all the way back here to even get this whole thing and scan it down. Yeah, it's gigantic. Has to be at least 25, 30 feet tall. Stretched probably about a good 50 feet. Super colorful. All different events throughout history. I'll even have Grand Central Market on there. Oh, wow. Is that an Aztec thing?
I don't know if it's Aztec.
Found a beautiful dinosaur skeleton here. Name of Natalie. You can see how small a human is compared to the actual body. And so all the green parts of the picture here are going to be the real bones we're about to see. All the white parts are the ones that are reproduced. So this is the real spine of the Natalie when they found in Utah. But we're told it's so twisted, that's why it's not actually on the dinosaur itself. So we'll see the actual dinosaur now up here against the wall. That is one long neck right there. Can't even imagine that. Probably a good 25 feet long just to the neck. Almost got like elephant feet. And its tail is just as long as the neck was. I couldn't imagine having to manage that tail, swishing along and hitting trees or whatever was around it. But that is a ridiculous tail. Goes all the way to the tip over here. I think its tail is actually longer than its neck was. That is a ridiculous tail. I don't understand what the purpose of that tail could have been. But that is one big body. The grand entrance to the Natural History Museum in LA. You see a wonderful Triceratops here and a T-Rex. Just looking like Jurassic Park, end of Jurassic Park 1. Got an LA underwater exhibit in here. Found a fossil of an anglerfish. That is a really nice fossil right there. And this one down here looks a little suspicious. I don't know what that fossil is, but looks a little phallic. Oh, well, that's an action. Oh, I thought the shark was hungry. That's one lucky little seal. Oh, almost got me. Yep, I'd be out of here too. That is my worst fear. I am not a friend of sharks. That is terrifying. A giant whale skull. Look, it's a fin whale. Long, sharp snout there. A walrus skull. Some long, long tusks right here. See the nasal cavity and everything with the tusks coming out. I'm gonna go to a saber-toothed cat. It's crazy, that looks so similar to almost the walrus with the tusks. I think this guy really wanted to grow up to be a pirate. A little kerchief on his head and his sword. His stoic face. I got this guy over here who is so proud of his horse. Got his hand on his hip, showing off those pretty blue trousers. That is a fancy gentleman. And this guy right here, showing off his ladies. Tiny does not believe that. He thinks it's a dad and mom and 2 daughters, but I think it's his harem. And he looks like a curmudgeon. A grumpy old geezer. Showing life in the early pueblos. And the different musical instruments they had. It's a beautiful harp. I would love to hear that being played. And then a woman's tortoise shell comb. And we're talking about how heavy it might be in an actual turtle shell. Wow.
Hola muchachos, Oscar Rebolista del cielo Jalisco. Ahora chato, y prepárate una birria, sí señor.
Got some gambling memorabilia over here. Cards, glasses. Some old hooch in that bottle probably. Were they playing Yahtzee? They got 5 dice right there. If you go Yahtzee wrong, you're gonna get stabbed with that and knocked in the head with those brass knuckles. Well, I like the handle on that pistol right there. 1873 Peacemaker revolver. I call those poker dice. Different coins from the time.
Y baila bonito chaparrita, puro Veracruz, compadre.
Mudda.
Eso, yo payaso. Y así brilla el sol en mi tierra.
1861 Navy revolver and a little small knife. It says a white man was killed in a crossfire between rival Chinese groups when a riot broke out. A mob of over 500 people participated, and when it was over, "19 Chinese men and boys have been murdered." Wow. We have a 1902 tourist automobile. Some thick tires. I'm assuming they're solid rubber, not inflatable back then. So they're probably heavy. Oh, I don't know. That's a valve stem on them. I guess it does kind of look like a valve stem to fill up with air. Looks like a horseless carriage. I like how the back kind of sits like at a 45-degree angle, almost like a side saddle, a little bench in the back. See, they didn't make cars like that again. Something you just cruise and relax in. And then all the oil derricks that were needed to fuel the new vehicles that were created. All along the coast of California. And that's what I'm talking about. I want to ride me an ostrich. I would totally get on that thing's back. Let it run. So there's a lot of exotic animal farms back here in the early 1900s. Ostrich farms, alligator ranches, all kinds of stuff. The good old days. Giant, powerful ostrich feet. Huge taxidermy ostrich. Yeah, those feet would do some damage. And they should just jump on his back and go for a ride. Walked into a giant rotunda here in the middle of Natural History Museum. This place is massive. We're still on the first floor. We've seen a lot. I feel like we haven't even seen anything yet. Getting ready to go into the dinosaur hall now. This rotunda has so much architecture. I mean, this right here to me is just a work of art. Other people may just walk right through, but we try to appreciate the beauty and everything. A little platypus, a sea turtle. I don't think I've ever seen a platypus in real life. I can't think of even any zoos that have platypus that I've seen. That is a strange creature right there. Oh, there's a little baby platypus over here. Yeah, that is a cool animal. It looks so soft. That bill. Very, very strange. Getting ready to enter the Age of Mammals exhibit now. So they got a combination of taxidermy in here, as well as some bones on display. Wow, that's a big head. So it's a Entelodont. It's an extinct animal that lived in North America 50 million to 20 million years ago. Yeah, that thing's got some teeth on it. Little lemur-like animal that lived in North America. Wow. That looks like an aquatic dinosaur. Pakicetus. This is a relative of whales. Yeah, this room definitely uses every space they have available. Got a llama over here. Looks like it's ready to spit on anybody that walks by. Beautiful zebra. More brown than black. Really nice stripes. It's a prehistoric Times tiger from Asia. It says the smallest and southernmost tiger subspecies living in Sumatra. So yeah, so less than 500 Sumatran tigers live today. Really light colored coat. I wonder if it lightened through the years or if that's how it was when it was alive. That's beautiful coloring. So this is really interesting. It's called a Megacerops. So it lived between 56 million and 34 million years ago here in North America. It's a distant relative to rhinoceros and to horses. Unlike a rhinoceros, it has dual horns in the front. Kind of reminds me of like a giraffe's horn on top of his head, the two horns that come out. How they're more blunt than sharp like a rhino, how it comes to a point. I don't know if I've ever seen one of those before. We have a cheetah skeleton showing what looks like in motion versus a full cheetah with its skin pelt still on. Wow. We got stuff even hanging from the ceiling here. Look at the little whale up there. Little dolphin skeleton right here. putting the cages around it just to demonstrate how the body would look. Since the skeletal is just so small, and then the rest of the body would encompass it and show exactly how the animal will look. That looks like a Loch Ness Monster right there. That thing's crazy. We gotta find a sign to find out what that is. Yeah, it's a giant sea lion. We have a Harlan's ground sloth. So they went to extinct about 11,000 years ago. I couldn't imagine seeing a sloth that large. I'm used to seeing slow, and they lived up in trees. We went to Forever Wild out in Phelan before. But that is just a massive, massive sloth. And then over behind him, you'll just, I'm assuming it's a mammoth towering over him with giant tusks. The white bones, I'm sure, are bleached, so the contrast is just incredible. It's what they call an American lion, but it says they're closer to a jaguar. There's a large jaguar, very large cat, lived during the Ice Age here in America. And then right next to that is one of the tallest camel skeletons I have ever seen. It has to be a minimum 10, 12 feet high, the top of its head. That is one massive camel right there. I'm sure if we try to get attacked by that jaguar, I can do a nice powerful kick to that jaguar's ribs and do some damage. Huge legs in that camel. Really nice saber-tooth specimen. Giant teeth intact still in the skull. Yeah, they have a lot of really intact skeletons. They don't all say which parts of the skeleton of these ones are real. Again, I'm sure some of these are had to cast bones, recreate them, or whatever else, or put them together to make a whole skeleton. Highly doubt they found this entire skull and body together, but still represents a really nice size, so you can just see how big the saber-toothed cat was. It's a giant mammoth. This is what we just saw a few weeks ago over at the Western Science Center. But this is a lot better skeleton right here. Massive feet on this thing. I would love to be able to see this just roaming across the land. But those tusks just blow me away. Those are some of the giant, huge tusks. Even I feel like they had sharper grinding molars versus elephants today. Those have some points on them. I don't know, that's just for eating grass, but why would they need points if they're just eating grass and vegetation? Those are some pretty good sized teeth. They get massive skull. Giant bower scallop. Can't even imagine the size of that thing inside. That'd be like probably the size of a filet mignon. This little sea turtle right there. So small. And we have a primitive dolphin skull. Wow. Showing some early dolphin skulls, showing how the earlier, now extinct dolphins had a real skinny snout. This one was super skinny, almost like a bird snout versus a modern dolphin, much wider teeth. Yeah, huge difference. I wonder what made them evolve into a wider head. It's exhibits about how they can tell the difference between males and females. They're saying a lot of times they can't tell from certain parts. Of course, you can't tell from this saber-toothed cat skull. They say they can tell from the bison because a male bison will have a bigger set of horns. And then this is a dead giveaway. A nice little direwolf baculum. Nice word for penis. Between 45,000 and 11,500 years. Wow. Now this is interesting, something I did not know, is that rhinos evolved here in North America and then moved to Europe, Asia, and Africa. I actually did not realize that rhinos were related to horses. It says it's also related to a tapir, but it kind of looks like a tapir with a body size and shape, but I never knew that they started in North America and then moved through time and migrated. Huh. All kinds of different stuff here, and again, this is their theories and assumptions, and I'm sure it comes with facts also, but they also guess on a lot of things. That's why different times change with different animals and the way they look, artist renderings. They're just doing their best to guess what they think was going on when these animals were alive. So all we can do is take it with a grain of salt and hope they were right. So the Paleoparadoxid is an extinct amphibious mammal. This thing is gigantic. The feet on it alone, or I would have been flippers back then probably, those have been massive flippers too. Huge, huge bones. But his mouth is just really crazy to me. His teeth are curved in on the inside. Definitely a meat eater and big chomping molars, but definitely has bones that would, or teeth that would hold animals in there. So definitely eat fish and who knows what else. But it says that this was actually killed by some sharks. So I would love to know how big the shark was that killed this giant thing. Are there dinosaurs today? Saying that birds are dinosaurs. Here they are comparing the skeleton of a current bird, a pelican skeleton right here, to a known dinosaur skeleton. Yeah, but these pelicans don't have teeth like that. So they lost their teeth and gained feathers. Look at the claws in that thing. It was a ornithomidid. Has a small head but big teeth. I'd much rather be bit by a pelican than that thing. Here's the skeletal remains of a full duck-billed dinosaur that they discovered in Canada. As they were able to cut it out of the ground and just leave it in the rock and sediment to show what it looked like when they dug up the whole skeleton. They said it was found with 2 or 3 other duckbills also. They all just kind of died in the same place. So that was really nice to be able to see the full skeletal structure of it. Its head. It's got a possible blowhole, a bit like a dolphin head, is what it reminds me of. There's like a chain link on the neck. And like sharp almost. Very different than like vertebrates and animals today. Yeah, it's a very strange neck. They're showing how different animal skull can make different sounds. So like I said, this looks like a dolphin skull here, even though it's a dinosaur. They'll make whistles and flutes just like dolphins do nowadays. And that's why this one right here, the huge horn on top, probably made it a lot louder, probably a deeper sound, like a horn just coming out of the top of its head, blowing a modern sound of a horn also. Here's a comparison from a modern ostrich over to its dinosaur look-alike called Struthomytis. This thing is enormous, probably at least 9-10 feet tall up to its head from the ground. It really does look like an ostrich, just with arms instead of wings, so the arms could have transformed into wings through evolution. They definitely shrunk in size and then turned into birds. Now this is the highlight of my day. This giant Triceratops head right here. And showing how different dinosaurs have different head shapes. Now this one looks like a dragon head, what we picture in Game of Thrones and everything, to look like a giant dragon face. This one's called a Styracosaurus albertensis. But the one next to it is super bizarre. It's like a Triceratops with a horn hookbill called a Intosaurus procurvicornis. Yeah, that is the strangest horn I've ever seen with a hook like that. I know the glare is horrible here. I wish they would remove this glass. Yeah, that one in the middle is very, very strange. Here are 3 pieces of genuine Tyrannosaurus Rex skull. This is a baby here on the end. Unfortunately, I didn't find very much of it, it looks like. But it's demonstrating how the difference in the head shape changed from when it was a baby. It had a little slender of a head and smaller teeth, until it grew into more of a juvenile, with a thicker head, so we can eat bigger prey. Versus here is a full-grown adult, they believe. Massive teeth. Big hump on the head, just so it could eat bigger prey. So they believe it evolved throughout its lifetime, just like humans do, to be able to eat different things and survive. Those are 3 genuine Tyrannosaurus Rex heads. And this is a full body up here. Stretched all the way across. It's like a good, probably 35, 40 feet long. Tail to nose. Carnotaurus cestrae, predatory dinosaur, right here above us right now. Look at little tiny arms. I think he has smaller arms than the T-Rex. Yeah, those are some super tiny arms. But long, powerful legs. I bet that guy could run. He wouldn't be able to give you a hug, but he could definitely chase you down and bite you. So it's a perfect example of, like I was saying before, about how they're just guessing, making educated guesses, and they constantly change what they believe or what they see. They used to believe that the Tyrannosaurus Rex would stand upright with his head up in the air and his tail dragging on the ground as he walked. But now they believe that he's more vertical, like this, with his tail up in the air for balance. So he would walk all along the side with his feet and his body straight across. Yeah, he's definitely got longer arms than the last dinosaur we saw over there. Look at the feet on that thing. Looking straight up into his mouth. Giant teeth. All the way down his powerful body. A tail stretched out, just ready to run and strike and lunge at anything it possibly can. And his mouth was about 3 feet long. You can literally get half of a human torso inside of it. There's an Allosaurus skeleton. It's like a smaller version of a T-Rex. Same body structure, just maybe like a third or quarter of the size. Still that long tail, and again, they still believe now that they don't walk straight up and down like they used to believe. They believe that they stay more horizontal so that way they can balance themselves with a massive tail. And of course, they put him right next to a Stegosaurus. You can see the back plates on that thing. His little skeleton head, little Stegosaurus head. Those plates are massive, huh? Huge back plates. Here's a display showing different dinosaur feet, how they're able to compare them, the fossils they find, and the imprints left in the soil from back in the day when they were alive. Different claws, links to their toes. Wow. And there's the biggest and best Tyrannosaurus Rex feet. Still reminds me of an ostrich foot. Fossils of underwater creatures that they discovered in Kansas. There's a giant fish. The way his tail was preserved is just amazing. All the way up to a sea turtle over here. All from when North America used to be underwater. Giant ammonites. Aren't they like petrified wood? Whoa, that one is massive. That's probably 3 times the size of my head. Oh, the jellyfish? Wow, huge slab. They're claiming that this underwater dinosaur was pregnant when it died. Again, they cut out a whole slab to preserve it. So there's this flipper. It comes around its spine. And they believe that these bones down here were actually a baby. So they believe this was a female dinosaur was pregnant at the time of its death. And the baby's bones were preserved inside of its womb. There's a long neck underwater dinosaur. Now this is what I picture looking like a Loch Ness monster. Big paddle fins here. tiny tail, and it stretches out to a long, long prehistoric neck. Just imagine that coming out of the water, chasing fish. Small head for a giant body, massive, massive sharp teeth in that mouth. That is one hell of a dinosaur. They're calling this a Mamenchisaurus. I'm just going down his long neck right now. This is a land dinosaur. It's still massive. Coming across his whole body, giant rib cage, all the way to the tip of his tail. It was about 70 feet long, but over half of that was his neck. So under a 35-foot long neck. All being held up by his feet right here. Like considerably, aren't even that big of feet compared to the other dinosaurs that were even bigger. Probably because he was able to balance with his long tail. He didn't need the huge feet to hold him up. It's more like a balancing act. Yeah, that is one hell of a neck. All the way down there. And another artist rendering what they think they may have looked like. Again, who knows? It could have been purple with polka dots for all we know. I like to believe my dinosaurs were purple with polka dots. There's another Triceratops. And they're explaining here about how it looks like it's one dinosaur, but most of the dinosaurs here, and probably all the dinosaurs in most museums, they get numerous different dinosaurs they dig up and then put them together like a puzzle. So hopefully they're giving us true renditions of what it really looked like, not just creating, again, what they believe they should have looked like. But yeah, I mean, they did a good job. It does look like one dinosaur, but they are admitting that it is not. It's actually about 4 dinosaurs that they had to put together. But wow. That is the greatest head right there. I love that huge head. Yeah, like that slender mouth, how it overlaps. Just like a massive rhino. Next up, the North American Mammal Hall. Coming into another dark room like he started with the African animals. Got some mule deer. Yeah, North America just does not have the same animals that Africa or other continents do. We got the short end of the stick. Little collared peccary. I thought it was a javelina. Yeah, that baby is adorable. Some little mountain goats. Oh, that one's beautiful. Look at this goatee on that guy. I bet that impresses the lady goats. Little coyotes. Got him a rabbit, take him for the babies. Some caribou from Alaska. Never seen how they have their horn going in the middle of their head like that. They have their antlers. But then that extra horn, I thought it was an abnormality in that one, but it looks like all 3 of the males have that. Colombian black-tailed deer. Oh, I like this exhibit. Some muskox. Live in the Canadian tundras. They just pop against that snow. I like how they have like calves with almost all the exhibits also. They show the different life stages. There's a ringtail. Barely see him, it's so dark in there. I'm assuming it's because they're nocturnal animals, but That means we can barely even see him. And this is the massive exhibit they have in each hall. They kind of show one really nice species. This is their bison exhibit. Again, no glass, and it looks so much nicer, no glare. And we're still a good 12, 15 feet away from the taxidermy animals. No one can touch it. I wish they would just move the glass on each and every exhibit. A North American porcupine gnawing up on that tree. This next thing is literally blowing my mind. I'm sure I can't even tell on the camera, but this is the most massive sea lion I've ever seen in my life. I grew up around seeing sea lions, and I've seen most of them about the size of everyone, but I have never ever seen a male that big. He must weigh, what, 650 pounds? Easy? More? He is gigantic. Little mountain lion family. Babies playing with each other. Well, that the mom up here is teaching them to pay better attention. She's stalking them from above. Probably jump down and scare the crap out of them just to teach them a lesson. Lazy little lions. Look at the rack on that moose. Now after seeing that giant sea lion, nothing else in here really is even like impressing me. I still want to go back to Santa Cruz and find a sea lion that big, because I do not believe there are sea lions that live currently that are that big. Some gray wolves. That black one is really nice. Super thick coat. Some Dall's thin horn sheep. The African brown bear. I'm assuming that's the female. That must be the male back there. With like a blonde coat on him versus her dark brown coat. Wow. I think the size I think a grizzly would be. That is a really big brown bear. They were smaller for some reason. Okay, this is the most terrifying thing that we've seen all day. So this is a megamouth shark in this exhibit. And this is gonna give me nightmares tonight. Here we go. This is an actual animal. Look at the mouth on this thing. I mean, it earned its name Megamouth, but it is blowing my mind looking at it. I do not like it. Do not like sharks. This thing is probably the ugliest shark I've ever seen. Wow. That face. Doesn't only have teeth. Maybe it just like sucks you in and swallows you whole, I guess. Discovered in 1976 off the coast of Hawaii. Damn. No, thank you. I am so envious of that little child right there. Riding that alligator looks like so much fun. Again, I don't like sharks, but I would ride an alligator any day. Heading into the gem and mineral room. All different colored gems. It's like a giant piece of pyrite right there. There's turquoises and reds and greens. course, the smallest thing in here is actual gold. Got big chunks of everything else, a little tiny piece of gold. Oh, I got a really light colored one too. I love the tourmaline. They have the tourmaline mines up in Paula. And a big piece of quartz. Crazy. Halite from New Mexico. You can literally see right through it, all the impurities and cracks. Gypsum and Cave of Swords in Chihuahua, Mexico. It might be a Superman ice cave. Some opal and sandstone. Beautiful rock formations. Got a lab where they cut the crystals to show you the different parts and the way they look before it gets turned into a gemstone. All twisted and turned. Purple tourmaline is definitely my favorite right here. And they break down the turquoise and other gems. Yeah, from Bisbee, Arizona. Little mining town we visited during COVID. Carnelian necklace. Pearls. Those aren't rocks. I'm kind of confused why they have pearls here, but I thought it was all about rocks and gems and everything, but I guess they're including pearls in this. Oh, that bowl is awesome. A fluorite bowl from late 18th century. The final product where they cut it and sand it down into all different shapes and sizes, different jewelry, some round moonstones over here, all kinds of large stones everywhere, garnets. real.
It's right there.
Really? All of it?
Yeah.
Every piece? So all this down here is real gold. That is a ton of gold then. And this is definitely the most expensive exhibit in the whole museum, I bet. If all of this is actually real, true gold. I figured it was lead they just painted gold. Crazy. Well, that's our time at the LA Natural History Museum. Absolutely loved it. Highly recommend to anybody. We were here for about 3.5 hours. Not bad at all. Definitely had a good time. Saw a lot of interesting things. Learned some new things about some animals I didn't even know existed, and I know quite a bit about animals. So highly, highly recommend this place, like I said. We'll come here again anytime. Check it out in the future. And especially when they have extra exhibits, like I said, we came years ago to a tattoo exhibit here, so if they ever did anything again, we would come check it out. But very, very fun museum. We're gonna head out now and check out the outside, but great time at the LA Natural History Museum.